Welcome! It's Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy bringing you another Star Citizen video. And today I thought we would talk a little bit about stealth gameplay. What's in the game now and what we can expect for the future. This is kind of a hot topic, a lot in my org, but something I'm very interested in as well because I always tend to play more stealthy players, like Skyrim. I want to be the stealthy archer because it's super easy and it's a lot of fun. I also like just being a stealthy blade guy too. I walk up behind somebody and take them out. If I ever played D&D, I don't mind playing rogues or assassins for the same reason. They're stealthy, they get in without being seen, they get the quick strike, the attack, possibly take down the opponent, and then get out of range. So stealth gameplay is something really interesting. Hitman's another great game that, you benefit from stealthy gameplay. So there's all sorts of games and things out there that you can play that benefit from a good stealthy character. So I know that that's something I'm interested in. I know there's a few guys in my org that are interested in. I even have kind of a whole section that's doing R&D on the different stealth components in the game right now, how to make each and every ship as stealthy as possible, what to run on it to make them stealthy. Of course, all that's going to change when they rebalance a lot of that stuff. But it's good to kind of speculate and hypothesize and kind of be prepared for it, to have a good test bed already set up or a good way to test these things out right now. And so I've got some guys that are really dedicated to doing that. I really appreciate all the work that they're doing on that to try to build up the stealthiest fleet that they possibly can. You can imagine for an org how that would be extremely beneficial to have a stealth fleet or a bunch of guys that can get in under the radar, take care of the mission, and get out. So we are very keen on being able to do that. Of course, we're going to have our brute force as well that we don't want people to feel like they should be able to mess with successfully. We do have a nice sizable strong fleet, and we do practice different ops to hopefully increase our ability both in first person shooting and in flying as well. So that is something that we are always striving to be better on, and hopefully my guys see the improvement. I know I do, and we'll continue to do that as the game improves and as the mechanics of the game improve. So this particular video that you're watching right now, I just actually did just a few minutes ago. I got on and I was like, I need to capture some footage for today's video, and I decided I'd go solo an 890 jump mission. I like doing these 890 jump missions. They're a lot of fun, especially when you can do them solo. I do highly recommend that you take something with a med bed just in case they get off some crazy sniper rounds to the head. It does happen. They even hit the body too. So it's always best to be prepared with a med bed. Always take med pins as well, and multiple guns, because guns do have a tendency of falling out of your hands. I will have a little bit of everything happen this video gameplay, except for I don't die, thankfully. But I do have guns dropping out of my hands. I do have just some different little quirks here and there that we've all gotten used to at this point in version 3.8.2. Especially with 3.9 not even looming on the horizon at the moment. I don't know where it's got. They're still working on the desync issues, which, guys, that's one of the things I've been working on all day, is trying to get all this great footage that my guys put together from this weekend to try to get some sort of a decent video for you guys based off this weekend's activity. We had all sorts of failure. We didn't even get the op off the ground, but the setup of it was pretty fantastic. There's pretty much a parking lot of ships. It was pretty cool, and I want to show you guys what these guys were able to do this last Saturday. Back to this gameplay, I'm actually going to show a lot of the stealth capability of 3.8.2 as far as the first-person shooter side of things. Ship side didn't really need to do that. Not all the sneaky, quiet ships are going to be super effective in battle as of yet. You know, maybe an Eclipse. I could have brought an Eclipse and one-shotted both of those Cutlasses early on, and they probably would have never even known I was there. So maybe next video I'll go full stealth on you and do something like that, and even try to get nothing but stealth kills. What is a stealth kill? Well, you could qualify it or classify it in multiple different ways. I would say the coolest stealth kill is one with a knife. A melee stealth kill in an era where melee isn't much of a thing usually. You know, everybody's got a gun, a laser gun, a shotgun, etc. So melee kills should be extremely hard to get unless you're stealthy. And so I'm going to show you a few of those melee kills in this video as we progress through the 890. Now, the other way to get a stealth kill would be like with a sniper rifle from long range or a silenced weapon from any range. There's a little bit of that going on with the silenced weapon, mostly from long range. So far that it's even hard to make out the enemy that I will be shooting at. You noticed that before I exited this ship, I shot open the front hangar of the 890 Jump. And that's so I could go ahead and take out a few bad guys in the hangar. It never fails in 3.8.2 though. You can take out 3 or 4 bad guys in the hangar, but there's always one that hasn't spawned until you go into the hangar from the ship. For some reason they don't spawn, or all of them spawn right away. I don't know how or why that's the situation. You'll see that there's 2 security guys over here. First, don't shoot them. You don't want a crime stat. They have the white armor. That's how you can tell the difference. Now I'm getting shot at from the corner over there by 2 guys, and they're actually hitting me, and I don't know if I'm hitting them, but they're still firing, so I'm still going to put some shots on them. I'm using a Demco right now. Very good weapon at close to medium range. Long range, you've got to single fire. That's the only way you're going to be able to hit much of anything, because the barrel flip, or whatever you want to call it, the muzzle flip, is pretty drastic on this LMG, light machine gun. So it's better at mid to close range, because you can keep those shots more on target, which I could also show you in this video as well. So I dropped 2 guys. As you can see, the number had dropped down from I believe 18 to 16, and now it's time for me to go enter the ship. Of course, I'm gonna make sure I still have my med pins, because I had to use one early. I did not like having to do that, but if you get hit, use your med pins. You don't want to bleed out. You don't want to take an accumulation of damage that will cause you to die, because that will slow you down. That it's frustrating, and I mean, and if you're talking about realism, kind of anyways, for this game, and being immersed in it, you don't want to die. So a med pen is a must-have at all times, so that you can heal some of that damage. Of course, later on, the health and the medical gameplay is going to be quite a bit different. Med pins may only just kind of like stabilize you for a few minutes until you can get a med bed or actual treatment from a medic of some kind. We don't know exactly what's going to happen for the medical gameplay as far as your first-person medics and stuff. I lucked out. The console was right here inside the door that I entered. Always, after opening the first door, wait there until the countdown begins. Once the countdown begins, open the door, and sometimes you'll get one of those, you know, hacking consoles right there in front of your door, or in front of the docking collar on the other side. Makes things a lot better, a lot easier. So here I see a little bit more in the way of opponents than I've seen before over on this left balcony. There's quite a few of them there. They don't really see me. I could have possibly snuck up on them and knifed them. That's exactly what I'm going to try to do in my next solo 890 jump mission, is I want to try to get knife kills on everybody. Think of how hard that's going to be to pull off. But that's what I'm going for. Right now I'm using a Coda pistol. They're usually a one shot to the head if you hit them with a Coda pistol. It's a couple shots to the body will do it. It's a very powerful gun, and it's very Texas-like. So it's kind of like a six-shooter. Very much, you know, that's what I think of as far as guns. It's very much along the lines of my org. So I like to carry one. Plus it does a lot of damage. And if it's silenced, they don't hear you coming. So here is the stealth gameplay that I really loved getting away with here. Sneaking up on these guys in the bar. I don't know what exactly they're guarding. There's nothing in that direction, so it's kind of dumb AI that I luck out and stab. The guy doesn't turn around next to him to shoot me, so I'm like, okay, well, let's stab this guy. So a lot of people are going to ask how I do this, because whenever you go to hit the left mouse button on a stab, it just slashes. Same thing with the right mouse button. I've discovered, and I'm probably dumb because I'm just now discovering it, but if you hit the center mouse button when you approach somebody, you will stab them like a takedown. So that worked extremely effectively, much better than stab, stab, slice, slice, slash, slash. And of course, you notice I dropped my gun, so I had to go back and pick it up. But yeah, hit that middle mouse button to get the quick kill. It also works when these guys are charging out. They like to do that in this area here especially. But when they're charging out and they're going to run past you or run by you, hit that middle mouse button and you will pull out a knife and stab that guy. Well, assuming you have a knife. You make sure you have a knife so that you can get those knife kills. Those are the fun ones. And yeah, so that I was able to get a quick kill that way. I've been able to get several kills with people running by, and I just pretty much stick my knife out and stab them to death. A lot of fun. I think I could have done a lot more knife kills in this particular mission. It just, I really think that a lot of it could have lined up perfectly for me to do it. The hard part would have been those guys on the balcony of the atrium. They were looking at me. They probably would have spotted me coming up. I don't know. That would have been a really difficult one. Maybe if I ran fast enough and ducked, I could have avoided being shot too much, or I could have used a med pin. I don't know. It's a tricky situation. These guys here don't even know I'm here. I'm going to take them out silently with the custodian. This is something else. I think I could have run up and stabbed each and every one of these guys. They were oblivious to my presence even when I was dropping their buddies. So, again, I could have gotten some more knife kills here, and I passed up on the opportunity foolishly. Would have been a lot of fun. It's just something to look at. Whenever these guards have their back to you, you can sneak up on them. I think you'd be able to get the knife kills. And on 3.9, that's probably going to change because the AI behavior is supposed to be smarter. You know, if we get 3.9 anytime this year. Again, I'm thinking they could push that back to 4.0, or we may be at 3.9 before you know it, and like 2 weeks later they're pushing out 4.0 for a PTU Evocati. Just don't know. We'll have to wait and see how it turns out. This guy here is also facing me. You know, I thought I might could try to sneak up on him, but better safe than sorry. Take him down with the gun. So, anyways, guys, stealth mechanics are going to get better than this. You're going to be able to really sneak and be quiet and approach AI, and AI is going to have more of a routine rather than being dumb. They're also going to be able to do stealth stuff and do search patterns to try to find you. So something really cool to look forward to when it comes to stealth mechanics on the first-person shooter side. Ship side, they're going to continue to work on that. Best thing is to keep your signatures low, EM, cross-sectional, all that. Keep it low, and it's much harder for the enemies to spot you. Once I have some good builds from my guys, I might try to highlight those and do some videos on those for you guys if you're interested. So put in the comments if you would like to see more stealth gameplay, more stuff about stealth mechanics, stealth ships, all of that. Let me know what you think. Also, for you guys who like lore, would you like me to do a Texas lore series about actual history of Texas, moving into my org's lore as well? If that's something you're interested in, let me know in the comments down below. I appreciate everybody that has been watching my videos, watching the ads, clicking on the ads. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you to my Patreons. I've got some new information coming up soon. I'll let you know about that. I'm Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy, and I'll see you out in the verse.